Deep within a forgotten jungle, shrouded in mist and choked by vines, lie the ruins of an ancient temple. The air hangs heavy, thick with the stench of decay and the weight of unspeakable acts. This was not always a place of shadows. Once vibrant life pulsed through its stone arteries, fueled by the devotion of a people long vanished. But their hubris, their desire to peer beyond the veil of mortality, drew the gaze of something monstrous. Their prayers, once hymns of praise, warped into pleas for salvation as their city was plunged into an unending night. The very priests who had sought power became conduits for a darkness beyond comprehension, their life force twisted into a horrifying mockery of existence. The temple, once a beacon of hope, became a festering wound on the earth, forever scarred by the creature born of hubris and despair. The Hollow Maw, they called it. A name whispered in terror-stricken gasps, a creature of primal fear, its essence woven from the fabric of nightmares and fueled by the anguish of the damned. It became the temple's sole inhabitant, its presence a festering sore upon the world, waiting for the day it would be unleashed. The jungle, as if sensing the evil within, crept closer, swallowing the temple stone by stone, branch by thorny branch, but the jungle could not contain the evil that pulsed at its heart. The Hollow Maw waited, and it hungered. To call it a creature does not encompass the sheer wrongness of its existence. The Hollow Maw is an absence of light given form, a void where there should be substance. Its body, if it could be called such, is a constantly shifting mass of inky shadows shot through with veins of pulsing, sickly green light. It has no eyes, yet it sees all, or perhaps its senses drinking in the fear of its prey like a man dying of thirst. Where a face should be, there is only an abyss, a gaping maw filled with rows of needle-like teeth that gleam like obsidian shards in the darkness. Its voice, a rasping, grating whisper that seems to slither into the deepest recesses of your mind, is enough to freeze the blood in your veins. Every utterance is a promise of pain, a symphony of suffering composed just for you. But the true horror of the Hollow Maw lies not in its grotesque form nor in its chilling voice. It lies in the emptiness that stares back at you, an emptiness that reflects your own deepest fears, your most primal terrors, back at you with tenfold intensity. The Hollow Maw is not merely a creature of darkness, it is the embodiment of fear itself. Its very presence warps reality, twisting the familiar into the grotesque. Shadows dance at its command, lengthening, reaching, grasping with icy fingers. The air grows heavy, thick with the stench of decay and the metallic tang of blood. The ground beneath your feet seems to writhe and pulse, as if the earth itself is recoiling from its touch. But its true power lies in its ability to tap into the deepest fears of its victims, to draw them out and give them monstrous life. It whispers your name, and suddenly you are a child again, lost and alone in the dark. It shows you glimpses of your deepest fears, your darkest secrets made flesh and bone. And all the while it feeds, growing stronger with every tremor of fear that runs down your spine. Against such power, weapons are useless, courage a flickering candle in the wind. The only hope lies in confronting your fears, in staring into the abyss and refusing to blink. But few possess such strength. Most succumb to the terror, their minds shattering like glass under the weight of their own worst nightmares. They say curiosity killed the cat. In the case of young Ilara, it delivered her to a fate far worse than death. Ilara, with her insatiable thirst for knowledge, scoffed at the village elders' warnings of cursed ruins and vengeful spirits. They spoke of whispers that lured unsuspecting souls to their doom, of shadows that danced in the moonlight, and a hunger that could never be sated. Ilara saw only legends, tales whispered to frighten children and keep them from straying too far from the well-worn paths. She craved truth, tangible and undistilled, not the watered-down folklore deemed palatable for villagers. She ventured into the ruins under the sickly glow of a waning moon, her only companions a flickering lantern and the echo of her own footsteps. The air grew heavy, laden with the scent of decay, and an underlying sweetness that set her teeth on edge. A low growl, barely audible, sent shivers racing down her spine. She pressed on, her hand trembling as she raised her lantern. The light flickered, threatened to be extinguished by the oppressive darkness. Then she saw it, or rather, it saw her. It rose from the heart of the ruined temple, a grotesque silhouette against the moonlit sky. Its form shifted, a writhing mass of shadows punctuated by those malevolent green eyes. The growl intensified, morphing into a guttural laugh that seemed to claw its way up from the depths of the earth. Ilara's lantern clattered to the ground, plunging her into absolute darkness. And then the whispers began, slithering into her mind, echoing her deepest fears, her most hidden shames. She was no longer Ilara, the scholar, the adventurer. She was prey. The Hollow Maw, for all its terrifying power, is not invincible. Legends speak of a weakness, a vulnerability hidden within the tapestry of its creation. Some whisper of ancient relics, imbued with the light of a forgotten god, capable of piercing the creature's shadowy veil. Others speak of a name, the true name of the high priest who first summoned the Maw into being, a name that holds the power to banish the creature back to the abyss from whence it came. The knowledge of this weakness, however, is fragmented, scattered like dust on the wind. Finding it requires a perilous journey into the heart of forgotten lore, a descent into the darkest annals of history. But for those brave enough or desperate enough to seek it out, the reward is a glimmer of hope in the face of overwhelming darkness, a chance to fight back against the nightmare, to reclaim the light from the clutches of the Hollow Maw. The path is fraught with danger, each step forward a gamble against oblivion. But the very existence of this weakness, however well hidden, offers a glimmer of hope in the face of despair. The Hollow Maw may hunger, it may torment, it may consume. But even in the darkest night, the faintest light can banish the shadows, and somewhere, lost to time, that light still flickers, waiting to be found.